one of the most powerful offenses and one of the most powerful defenses here. Guaranteed to be a great game on the Game of the Week. City Championships, Anthony Brace with Jeff Lowe. We'll be right back for the kickoff after these brief timeouts. Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins, 6 feet tall, 220 pounds. He's a guard.
Number 63.
61, Joseph Simpson. 6'2", 230.
Best to right. One of the workhorses on defense for the Stags. Big kid.
Anthony Wade, big kid. He's a senior, 6'3", 270 pounds. Defensive tackle.
As far as size, these two teams match up pretty well against each other.
Leonard's also a senior, 6'2", 235 pounds. Then there's a speedster, Rashawn Hardy. He's a senior, also very tall, 6 feet, 160, quarterback and safety. Vance Clarkston, the senior, split end.
Number 23, Walter Smith. Probably one of the most underrated backs in the public school league this year.
And then there is the man, the big workhorse for the Mackenzie Stags, Mr. Jerome Bettis, probably the premier running back in the state this year. Much written about, much talked about, 6 feet tall, 230 pounds. Honor student, all-around athlete.
These teams are not strangers to playoff situations. Kings Crusaders have been here before. They know what it's like to play in the big games.
Deion Johnson, number 12.
Number 22, Ricardo Williams.
Ricardo Williams, look for him a lot on the offensive end, also seeing time at free safety.
23, David Loaded.
This Crusader defense hasn't yielded a score all season long. First score that they gave up was last week, and they played Northern in the semifinal game. And that was almost a gimme. On that drive they gave up the touchdown, there was a lot of penalties involved.
Yeah, definitely one of the premier defenses, maybe in the history of the PSL. Unheard of going an entire season without being scored upon.
Not only in the history of the PSL, but also in the history of state football in the state of Michigan.
You're absolutely right about that, Jeff.
76, Leonard Haynes.
Leonard Haynes, a highly touted lineman, very big guy.
Number 77, Damon.
And the anchor of that defensive unit, Damon Primus, probably the premier lineman in the state.
Look for some good positive things out of this kid.
Of course, the head coach is Mr. James Reynolds, as is the head coach is Mr. Robert Dozier for the Mackenzie Stags.
Now, if you all would please stand. Color guard. And Officer Harold Taylor from the Detroit Police Department will lead you in the national anthem.
We like to ask all of our viewers at home to stand and join this tribute to America.
pride in the police force here in Detroit.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pride as we prepare ourselves for the kickoff of the city championships for Lorenzo Wright Field. Anthony Bracey and Jeff Lowe will be back for the championship game in just a moment. The man they like to see carry the ball in this position, right, Jeff?
Well, let's see if they kick it away from him, which they would probably do.
They do. It'll be Gregory Scott on the return. He's got a lane right up the middle of the field and stopped right at the 35-yard line.
Mackenzie and King are probably one of the two strongest kick return and the specialty teams in the public school. Both coaches depend a lot on that part of the game, and they concentrate on it, and it's a very important part of the game.
Primarily, one of the primary reasons they're in this championship game is because their special teams have delivered for them, including those also precious extra point, 2-point conversion attempts.
All season long they have. Setting it up for the Crusaders at quarterback, Zoltan Hall. Running back, Larry Davenport. He gets the ball on the handoff up the middle.
Good carry there by Davenport, breaking one tackle at the point of attack and keeping those legs moving for about another 5 to 6 yards.
And the strategy of Coach Reynolds here is not a filling out process. They're going to attack the Mackenzie Stags right in their heart. That's right up the middle.
Right, running at one, Jerome Bettis, who is a premier running back, but also is a starting middle linebacker. Let's see them try to work him a lot up the middle on defense to try to tire him out.
That's the basic strategy behind it. Getting involved in a lot of tackles. Won't be as effective offensively.
Counter goes off to Edward Davis, who breaks up the left sideline. He's still running down the left sideline. Excellent run there by Davis.
Davis really looked good running outside on that particular play.
See Davis and Robert Nelson running the ball from the tailback side.
Once again, they ran to Bettis' side. So they're going to make sure that Bettis stays very active. Important here, watch the line play. The team that controls the line of scrimmage will probably undoubtedly win this contest. Not making any predictions.
That's also true. Deion Johnson and David Bowden are the two slot men. As Old Hall gives the ball right up the middle.
Davenport hurdles,
breaking
guys,
tackles.
spins twice. Finally brought down by Sylvester.
What an excellent run by Davenport there. You see, this kid is really hyped and plays one of those very tough inside backs. That was a one-on-one clash between him and Bettis. And I'd have to say that Mr. Davenport got the better of that exchange.
That's right. Offensively, the King Crusaders are controlling the line of scrimmage early on in this contest and running right at the strength of the Mackenzie Stags, and that's at middle linebacker Jerome Bettis.
King will be going primarily with a running attack, and here Zoltan Hall used a little inflection.
Stags just a little over anxious on the play.
Of course, now the pressure's on the defense. They've reached that green zone, as they like to call it, inside the 30-yard line when you really got to tighten up.
Here's the replay on that.
Now here's
Right
the play
up
with
the heart.
Davenport.
Right up the heart goes Davenport. See the line action right here. Looks like Primus pulling there. Big hole. Hurdles one of his own players there. Finally brought down by...
Meanwhile, Davenport's breaking over the right side and gaining about 10 yards and another first down. What a good run there. They're running him inside, they're running him outside. He seems to be the main man on the opening drive.
Running behind the big lineman. When you got a lineman like Primus, who's what I would call a 90% performer as far as making his block and sticking with it. You got guys up front that can do that. It's no doubt you're going to have a successful running game, and King has been doing that for the better part of this game right now, and that's keeping the ball on the ground. Pro set offense for the King Crusaders.
Davis is the eye back. They gave him the ball. He stopped for no gain. Good play by the outside linebacker. That's big number 63 on the tackle, Michael Murphy. Murphy played the play off the box very well. Davenport that time, making good penetration and stopping the play behind the point of attack, which is in the opponent's backfield.
Well, that's what Mackenzie must do to contain this offense. Everybody usually talks about the King Crusaders' defense. Nobody scores on them. They have a great defense, and they fail to forget about the offensive strengths that they have. That's in Davenport and Davis, and also Zoltan Hall. Mackenzie done a good job that time right there in stringing the play out, though. That's what they have to do. It's going to have to be a team effort. Pursuit from everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll probably see that, and Mackenzie will get fired up pretty soon.
Now that Zoltan Hall's first pass is going up the left sideline. He's going for Davis, and no, he misses the ball. What an excellent play there by David Bolden.
Good coverage by Rashawn Hardy on that play, though. Right in the quarterback's eyes.
Zoltan Hall, they're getting the play. The play is coming from the sideline. That was Javon Linhart making the play to Zoltan Hall. Hall showed a very good arm there, good accuracy. Only one man had a chance for that ball, and that's what you like to see.
Stags match up pretty well, like we said earlier, against the King Crusaders, size-wise.
Big play here, 3rd and 13. Hall's back to pass again. He's got a man open across the middle. It's Davenport, but he drops the ball as Bettis.
Bettis swarmed him all over him on that play.
Jerome Bettis that time showing his zone coverage up and back in the middle and converging on the ball there.
Linhart probably heard Bettis' footsteps creeping up on him. Here's the replay on that play. Zoltan Hall drops back. Good protection.
Davenport slipping out in the backfield right there, and
right over the middle.
Right to him, and here comes Bettis. How do you do?
Welcome to the PSL.
This is the city championships. Martin Luther King now going for it on 4th and 13. Hall's back to pass. He's got another man open across the middle, and again the play is broken up by Bettis, but there's a flag down on the play.
Flag came a little late.
Very close call there. Very close call.
That's Ben Johnson whose flag that was. Defensive pass interference is the call.
Zoltan Hall was looking for David Bolden on that particular play. It was a good play by Bettis. You'll see Bolden come out the bottom end of the back protection.
There's Bolden coming out the side there, just slipping out. Zoltan Hall has a lot of time. Finds him. Just tripped up. I didn't see the
very controversial call there, but nonetheless it keeps the drive alive for the King Crusaders now. Their ball 1st and goal, just out inside the 10-yard line. There goes Bolden bouncing off of tacklers and swarmed under for about 1-yard gain. Again on that tackle, helping out on that tackle, making it final for sure was Mr. Jerome Bettis. Very active game on the defensive end there.
Doing a lot of things defensively, a lot of good things. They know they're going to run at him, so he has to be extremely high for this game, or up for this game.
Actually, where the ball is marked right there, just inside the 10-yard line, they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but have to be about the 1-foot line. King in their power I formation now.
There's a good shot of the line. Let's see how it works here.
And now that power I, they run the power over the 25.
Coming right at you.
Edward Davis running over into the touchdown. That's Edward Davis on the carry right there, ladies and gentlemen. And a celebration of glory in the end zone.
Showing why they were undefeated the entire season. Here's a replay on that. Edward Davis.
See that power I formation. They want Davenport up front to get the key block. Davis is going to read his block.
There's Davis, gets outside. Once he gets outside, it's no way you're going to catch him. Into the end zone he goes for 6 points.
Deion Johnson right there, number 12. Downfield blocking in the end zone. Very important extra point is up and good, but it was waved off before the snap.
Might have been some offensive and defensive line play. Legal procedure.
The kicking game here is going to be a very important part of this particular game. This extra point could be an absolute block.
That's the King band pounding in your ear there.
Number 20, give me number 21.
Again, to try the extra kick is Javon Linhart. Linhart, who's been perfect on the season so far. Again, nails that one, but there is a flag down on the play for the 2nd consecutive kick.
There's a flag on the play.
Linhart has a very strong leg, so they push it back again. That one split the uprights from about 25 yards.
We've expanded a 12-yard extra point into a 15, 20-yard field goal here. We're going to mark the ball at the 12-yard line. They'll spot it at the 20, making this a 30-yard attempt for the 1-point conversion.
His last kick had a lot of room to spare.
Yes, it did.
Kicked it right through the uprights.
One would think, why wouldn't Coach Reynolds not see so far out go for 2 points in a situation? That's because he has a lot of confidence in the foot of Javon Lenhart.
There it is again. This one has a lot of room,
and that one's good from 30 yards out. 1-point conversion.
And it would have been good from 40.
Yeah. 8:06 remaining to go in the first quarter. Martin Luther King took the opening kickoff and drove all the way down the field for the first score of the game. It's 7-0 here at Lorenzo Wright Field.
That first drive for the King Crusaders, key plays, Zoltan Hall, and a pass interception from Mackenzie. There's the King sideline, exuberant. Coach Dozier, he's a very active coach on the sideline himself.
Very active coach in the PSL, too, involved with a lot of other organizations, helping a lot of different other athletic programs coordinate themselves. The PSL has really become a family this particular year. They knew what it'd take to survive, and it sort of brought everyone together, including Brian Cable.
Indeed. It brought everyone together, and you see it out here in full force. Athletics.
The kick will be taken by number 1. Running up the middle of the field, fumbles the ball, is loose on the ground. It's still loose. There's a scramble for it. Vance Claxton fumbled the ball, and yes, it was recovered by the Mackenzie Stags. We'll have to see who comes out of the bottom of that pile with the ball.
Fumble on the play.
Number 22, Maurice Ferguson, found a loose potato on the field.
Yes, they must have had a lot of butter on it.
There's the King specialty team rising to the occasion again.
Yes. Yes, very important part of this game will be the special teams. For example, that 30-yard extra point that we had.
Maurice Ferguson wide to your left there. He's a wide man. Bettis and Smith in the backfield. There's a whistle on the play. Before the play can start, referee Ben Johnson must have spotted something in the interior line. I'm sorry, that's Art Fisk, the referee. Okay.
Walter Smith and Jerome Bettis are an excellent 1-2 rushing combination. You've got, well, speed and power in Bettis, and you've also got speed and quickness in Smith.
You're absolutely right. Bettis, the All-State candidate for the Mackenzie Stags. Smith would probably end up being All-City.
They're being Winston and Molson, and now they're going to test the arm early. He's got a receiver open, but overthrows him under a lot of pressure that time.
Pass intended for Clarence Wilson.
Intended for Claxton, incomplete. 2nd and 5.
Rashad Hardy that time was under a lot of pressure. Damon Primus.
Pass intended for Vance Claxton. Just over the outreached hands of Vance Claxton. Looked like he might have stopped on the play. Maybe if he would have kept running, might have had an opportunity to catch the ball.
Rashad Hardy with Jerome Bettis at the fullback position. They run a counter off to number 23, who breaks 2 tackles and runs out for a first down. Good gain there.
Walter Smith on the carry.
Ball carrier, Walter Smith. Look for a first down.
Mackenzie has been consistent with running the ball most of the season with the combination of Smith and Bettis. Here's a replay on that. Good line play. Trap. Good hold for Smith. Gets 5 to 7 yards on the pop there.
Excellent hold, pulling the guard and tackle from the outside. You have to have a lot of confidence and discipline in your line to be able to do that.
There's Vance Claxton in motion. Mackenzie Stags are ready.
First carry for Jerome Bettis is not one for positive yardage. The King defense were really keyed up for that.
And they're keyed on Jerome Bettis. Might have to use another combination here. Dozier might have to go to one of his secondary backs to open this thing up.
With the King defense so keyed up on Jerome Bettis, we can maybe look for Walter Smith to do a few things.
You should look to Walter Smith. Maybe that might be the key right here in this game early on.
And also the arm of Rashad Hardy, the quarterback there, number 6. That may be a telling factor also, as King lines up now in the version of the power I formation. Give the ball off to Smith, who gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage again for no gain, making it about 3rd down and 13. What a powerful display of defense by the King Crusaders on this opening series for Mackenzie.
Great pursuit by the King defense. They're trying to run the ball straight at Primus, Damon Primus, who's the big defense and offensive lineman. Right now, he has his defensive uniform on. Gets out from the bottom.
Now, that's how hard they're hitting there. They had to get unstuck. No one came up hurt from that foul. It just were kind of wrapped up together there. There's a lot of leather being laid out there on the field this afternoon.
And you can say that again. Two of the most powerful teams in the city of Detroit. The two most powerful teams, I should say. This is the public school playoff game, or championship.
Now Hardy to throw. He's got a man open, but he misses it. Ball's intercepted by Martin Luther King. Number 21 running with the ball is Tim Banks. They're going to call him down. Maybe his knee slipped when he was returning the ball, and his knee may have touched the ground right there, but he stopped him right in the middle. Oh, they're going to wave off the play. Illegal procedure against the Mackenzie Stags.
Heartbreaker for the Mackenzie Stags. Here's the replay on that.
Watch the line move before the ball snapped. See the backside receiver went in
decent
just
protection.
A little bit early.
Can't see the play downfield. Here it is. Here's the end of the play. And Banks did slip.
And that's where they're going to mark the ball.
That's where they'll mark the ball.
Right at that spot.
First and 10 for King Crusaders.
King Crusaders now have the ball. It's just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. They have the lead right now, 7-0, on the strength of the opening drive of the game, which was 70 yards. Zoltan Hall, the quarterback.
The King offense ready to go. There's Davenport on the off-tackle play. Good yardage.
Nice game for Davenport right there, going right up the middle. Again, attacking the strength. Big Davenport going up the middle.
That's what the good teams do. They attack the strengths of the other team. No one runs away from Lawrence Taylor. They run at Lawrence Taylor.
Definitely.
They have to wear those great... It's the west side versus the east side. Right here on Barden Cable, TV6 Sports. There's the ball again.
Off to Davis. There he is, runs for the first down.
Yardage. King is controlling the line of scrimmage at this point. Whenever you can get your opposing lineman 3 to 4 yards off the ball. Here's the replay on it. Edward Davis, just a straight handoff up the middle. Davenport with an excellent block at the point of attack. Finally wrapped up by Sylvester Wright, number 63, the other outside linebacker for the Stags.
First down and 10. The Crusaders are definitely on the march right now. Ball off to Davis again this time.
Wrapped up by number 70 on the Stags.
James Ross, he's a freshman, 6'2", 200 pounds. Coach Dozier has a definite prospect right there.
Yes, he's known for developing linemen and big kids to go on and play in the professional ranks, two of which are Kevin Brooks, who now plays for the Detroit Lions, who was the #1 pick for the Dallas Cowboys some years ago, and Pepper Johnson from the New York Giants. Both played for Coach Dozier at Mackenzie High School.
King now, second down and 7 yards to go. They run Davis again on the trap. Davis breaks 2 tackles, running up the left sideline. What a good run by Edward Davis. Splitting 2 defenders right there, breaking up the left sideline. And again, getting all he can. About a 20-yard gain there, Jeff.
Here's a replay on that. Watch Primus pull right here. Opens up a big gaping hole, knocks 88 off his feet. And that's all he needed. That's all Davis needed to get some yardage. At the end of the play, he was finally wrapped up by Sylvester Wright and Walter Smith. Once again, the line play is very good.
Excellent line play by the King Crusaders. They're taking the second drive. There's flag down on this particular play as Davenport pounds up the middle for a gain of about 7.5.
Looks like it might be against the Stags here. This deep in your territory, you don't want any penalties to hurt you. And that's what's happening right now to the Stags.
Now, the 2 hands on top of the head, is that the encroachment zone violation? The last call, was that an encroachment? The referee touching his hat?
I didn't hear you.
Mrs. White.
Sign language here.
We'll use sign language. Here we go again.
That's the call. It's going against Stags. We got to move the chains down. First down.
Looks like it might be a little bit of confusion. Coach Dozier decides to call a timeout. a good timeout. This team needs a little bit of motivation right now.
2 minutes and 39 seconds in the first quarter. Score is 7-0. Anthony Bracey and Jeff Blow with the game of the week, the state championships. Martin Luther King and Mackenzie. We'll be right back. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. It's first down and goal to go. They give the ball off to Davenport, going over the right sideline. Again, swarmed over by a host of Mackenzie Stags. Davenport has been having a very good game up to this point in time.
Both the King running backs are having an excellent game. Davis and Davenport. What the Stags must do right now is get a little bit of momentum going their way. They need to stop this drive right here, deep in their own territory, with their backs against the wall. But the important thing here is to make some adjustments to stop the running backs of Davenport and Davis. They're controlling this game right now. The King Crusaders
in a wishbone with Smith and Davis. They give the ball off to Smith, who breaks the tackle and gets down just inside the 1 yard line. They'll mark it at the 1 yard line.
That's David Bolden on the carry. First and goal for the King Crusaders.
Now they like to do this when they get down into the goal line, move into that wishbone backfield with Davenport up front.
Here's a replay on that.
Bolden.
That's a look at the wishbone. A fake up to Davenport. Davenport leads with a block there. Good, strong run from Bolden. King has 3 good strong backs. Look very good in this contest. This is the PSL Championship game. There's a feed to Davenport into the end zone, right over the left side of the Mackenzie Stags line.
However, there is a flag down on the play, and they're going to call a legal procedure against Martin Luther King High School, nullifying that touchdown there by Davenport.
I think King has found some weaknesses in the defensive line. They're running at the youth of the Mackenzie Stags. Number 88, Devon Grant, has his hands full at defensive end. He's only a sophomore. He's a big kid, but hasn't been able to contain outside and control his man on the line of scrimmage. And that's one of the keys for the King Crusaders at this point. Devon Grant is the guy who's upright and outside. And they run his way again, turn it inside. Number 25, Davis, finds a little opening, gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play.
There's a lot of youth on that defensive line for the Stags, but then again, Coach Stozer is known for developing talent, letting the young guys get a shot early, and then staying with them 3 and 4 years, so that's how he keeps his program on top.
All right, well, with the dismantlement of the JV programs in the public school leagues, you got to start the kids younger than you used to have before. Sometimes a guy like Devon Grant would have an opportunity to develop on the JV or junior varsity team, but not in this case. He has to produce right now.
Again, straight off Davenport, he gets in the end zone. It's a touchdown for Martin Luther King High School. There's a straight dive running behind the big middle of the offensive line, straight at the inside heart of the Mackenzie defense.
And running behind big number 77, Damon Primus. Just like to have guys like that on the line of scrimmage. Our line, when I was in high school, averaged about 200 pounds.
I didn't see the kicker there for a second. I thought he had lined up on the line. I was looking for Devon Lenhart.
Snap just a little high, but Lenhart kicks it through with plenty of the spare. Here's a replay on that touchdown. Nothing fancy about this. Straight handoff right up the middle to Larry Davenport into the end zone.
35 seconds left in the first quarter.
And then Devon Lenhart with that extra point. He had about maybe 20 yards to spare on that extra point kick.
Strong leg from that kid. What must the Stags do right now? The Stags must get together first mentally to tell themselves that
you can tell Coach Dozer over there on the sideline is very worried right now. King has, of course, a reputation for the most powerful defense maybe in the state. And now he finds himself 2 touchdowns behind. It's only 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. So on their second offensive possession, they have to find a way to establish a drive here. And they can start right here with a good return by number 23. He drops the ball.
Smith drops the ball. As
absolutely
worn by
nowhere.
the gold of the King Crusaders.
Down on the 10-yard line. Not an ideal place to start a drive.
Mackenzie Stags take over first and 10.
Coach Dozier now, we may see him go more to Jerome Bettis or let Rashawn Hardy use his arm and throw and try to get him out of this jam there, and they have to create some type of momentum right now. It's imperative that he establish some type of offensive game.
You're absolutely right when you say that. He not only go to Bettis, but he might have to utilize some of his other talents. You have Walter Smith, you have Rashawn Hardy. Let me get my lips right here.
Okay.
And you have Maurice Ferguson along with Vance Claxton. You got to use all of your weapons in this situation.
Okay,
King
Claxton
defense
is in
keying
motion.
on they're keying on the big fella, but
And there goes Bettis along the left sideline. Power running by Jerome Bettis. And there's a flag down on the play. We have to wait and see what that particular call was, but there he is, number 36, Jerome Bettis.
A punishing running back.
And he has speed, too. The play, unfortunately, is against Mackenzie. Unfortunately for the Stags, I mean.
All for not, as they used to say. Here's the replay on that. Jerome
That's the power of Bettis. He gets the
just
ball in the
straight
backfield.
up power running. Gets outside, finds a lot of daylight. All he has to do is beat a couple guys and lowers the boom.
There's
one
the clip,
one
right
defensive
there.
back right there. I think Walter Smith was guilty of the allegation.
Personal foul against Mackenzie.
That was Mr. Smith. He lined up at the left side at the slot in.
Blocking below the belt is a penalty in high school football.
Okay, that's the end of the first quarter.
We think that's the end of the first quarter.
There's no time on the clock. They're going to let the play run out there. And the play goes into the center of the line for no gain. They handed the ball off to Charles Lipscomb.
Martin Luther King.
End of the first quarter, Martin Luther King High School 14, Mackenzie Stags 0. We'll be right back on the City Championships. Mackenzie Stags right now trying to make something happen there for ball first and 10. Deep in their own hole, trailing by 14 points. Sean Hardy, the quarterback, now gives the ball off. Is that Davis running down the left side?
Walter Smith with the ball.
With the ball right there.
When they go to Walter Smith, they usually get some good yardage. Walter Smith is a big kid.
Smith and Ferguson, an interchangeable pair in that backfield right there. Smith with a very good gain right there, running for 7 yards over the right sideline.
Right now, the Mackenzie Stags have to establish something offensively. 3rd and 2.
Very important, what we would consider a very important play right now for the Mackenzie Stags. They try to establish some type of running attack, and they go over the right side behind big James Ross, number 70, and I don't think they were successful in picking up that first down.
No, and Damon Primus, the big lineman, gets off and shoves a couple of Stags with his left arm, but not successful in getting the first down, and that's what they have to do. The Stags must get a click offensively to establish some type of running game or offense, period.
The penalty that called back that first down run by Jerome Bettis must have hurt, because that just killed all the momentum.
Nice high punt by Sylvester Wright. Let's see the coverage from the
Ball
Stags.
taken there by Tim
block.
Banks.
Too good.
What a good block. Banks bring it up. What an outstanding play by the entire punt return team for the Martin Luther King High
Here's
School.
the replay on that. It's a good high
these
kick.
blocks.
It's a good high kick, a kick that you can cover real well from a defensive standpoint.
Tim Banks there receiving the ball, though, and watch the line. They set up a picket line on the opposite sideline, and Banks just leads his men right in.
Boom. They're pulling back on all
just
the
picking
Stags.
them off like flies on fly paper.
Finally corralled by number 23 on the Stags. That's Maurice Ferguson. But that's how you set up a run play, a run on a kickoff return. That's how you set the return up.
Again, the emphasis Coach Reno puts on his special teams, paying off for him again, as Zolden Hall, calling out the signals, gives the ball off.
There's Davis.
Davis running again over to the right side. Good tackle by Chris Askaskas.
Edward Davis, the ball carrier.
That kick return
5'11",
brought the
220.
stands to life and got the fans from the King sideline very involved in this game.
Yes, he did. 63, Sylvester Wright also in on that tackle. But that coverage, return coverage, was excellent from the
Looks
offensive
like it
end
might be
by
a
King High
referee
School.
timeout or injury timeout.
Yeah, it looks like
It's a referee timeout. It's like some equipment malfunction. The helmet of Jerome Bettis.
Coach James Renner right there walking right through your screen, head coach of the Mackenzie Crusaders there.
King Crusaders.
King Crusaders. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. King
Anthony
Crusaders
Bracey
there.
was just attacked by the scorekeeper.
As Edward Davis attacks the middle of the line, going for about 4 yards, it'll be third down. Of course, this is Lorenzo right field, but it is the home field of the King Crusaders.
That's absolutely right.
Third down and 12.
Also be the host field for the winner of this game, which will be the first round of the state championship playoffs.
Third down and 2 yards to go as you see the scoreboard at Lorenzo right field in your camera right now or in your picture. This is the Detroit Public School League Championship game, 1989, the Mackenzie Stags and the King Crusaders.
Anthony Bracey here along with Jeffrey Lowe as we're about to get the game underway right now.
Looks like some malfunctions. It's 14-0.
14-0.
We're going to play. We weren't going to go to a break, but they decided to play here.
And we're going to stay with the action as Zoltan Hall is making the call. Gives the ball off to, that's Davis again, pounding it up the middle. That may or may not be enough for the first down. We have to wait and see. And there was a late flag thrown on top of the pile there.
Number 73 was at the bottom of the pile for the Mackenzie Stags.
Last man up is Anthony Wade.
Anthony Wade, senior, 6'3", 270-pound fella. Size-wise, you just...
And Anthony Wade is a little slow getting up. There's going to be an injury timeout as Coach Dozier takes the field. I think we'll take that break right now and be back for the conclusion of the first half with King and Mackenzie. We've got it.
We have some scores from Friday.
Hi, I'm Larry Wilcox. You might know me from the television series Chips. I'd like to tell you about a part-time career with the Air National Guard that offers Adventure Plus. Just think, you can serve your country, your community, and yourself. 2 days a month, 15 days a year, some extra income, and some very valuable training, plus for some, a chance to qualify for the College Tuition Assistance Program. So if your goals are as high as America's skies, check out the Air National Guard.
We're back at Mackenzie Stags, and Anthony Wade, the injured player on the play, limping off with an escort from a couple of the Mackenzie coaches. 14-0 in favor of the King Crusaders. This is the Detroit Public School League Championship game, 1989. Zoltan Hall at the signals, rose right.
He's got a man open in the center of the field. That's Davenport on the catch and Bettis on the tackle. These two have been going at it all game from the offensive and defense standpoint. Both fullbacks and both inside linebackers.
Davenport has been winning the battle as
You
long.
see him
Here's the
go through the
replay
line
again.
of scrimmage right there, and he's just going to go right across the middle of the field to the flat.
Zoltan Hall does an excellent job in hiding the ball.
And again, there he is, Jerome Bettis right there, just a half a step behind him. A little bit too late for the completion. The play went for a first down. It's 1st and 10 for the King Crusaders. On the move again, as they have been each and every time they've touched the ball this afternoon. I don't think they've punted once.
King is probably one of the strongest teams, or the strongest team in the state, I should say. A lot of excellent athletes.
Backfield, as Zoltan Hall and Davenport sort of collided, but Davenport got the ball nonetheless and made positive yardage to the tune of some 6.5 yards.
Yeah, that's when you know you're doing an excellent job on the line of scrimmage, when you can make a mental error like that, and not a major mental error, but whenever your quarterback runs into your back and still get some positive yardage out of it. Very well disciplined King squad. Looks like it's going to be
a timeout on the field. Yeah, Mackenzie Stags are going to take a timeout here. We'll stay with the action. I believe we're going to stay with the action. As you can see, Coach Reynolds going out to the talk to his offensive unit, and Coach Dozier there making his way across the field to the Stags.
Not too much to say offensively from Coach Reynolds' standpoint. They're doing an excellent job in all areas. Offensively, they're moving the ball very well. The offensive line is getting off the ball.
Frank
on the
Brown
other,
and
on the other side of the line,
Wigginton are the two coaches you see right there in your screen, assistant coaches for the King Crusaders.
They do a fine job also with this squad.
Yes, they do.
Offensively, defensively, the Stags really have to get it together here. And that's basically what Coach Dozier is saying. Let's start to create some things here, team. The Stags, they can hold their heads up though right now. The game is far from over. They have 2 quarters of football left in this contest.
2 quarters, 7 minutes, and 15 seconds to be exact, and that's a lot of time for teams, both teams who are 7-0, 8-0, excuse me. More than enough time, but they just have to start now.
Win or lose, both of these teams will probably end up in the state championship race competition.
Hall now giving the ball off to Davis.
Davis fumbles
the ball. And it was recovered by
Bettis Claxton. He falls on the ball there.
There's a fumble on the play by Hall. Mackenzie Stags recovered.
Jackson, Johnny on the spot right there. As soon as the ball, I didn't see who caused the fumble, but Jackson was the man who recovered it.
Here's the replay on it. Straight handoff, off tackle. Davis, caused by number 71 on the Stags.
That's Stephen Mitchell, defensive tackle.
Ball squirts out and recovered by Bettis Claxton. Now the Stags must establish some type of offense here. At least I would rather want to go into halftime 1 touchdown down rather than 2. Let's see, can they move the ball?
That fumble could be a change of momentum in favor of the Stags. Give the ball off to Bettis. Returns the ball back inside. Good hit, one-on-one tackle by number 57 there from Martin Luther King High School. That's David Sanders there, stopping Bettis one-on-one, which hasn't been done often this year. Very good hit at the point of attack, forcing him to turn it in. A good game for Bettis, nonetheless, of 4.5 yards on first down. Crusader defense, they have no hesitations in coming up, putting their go face mask to face mask, helmet to helmet.
I think they know that the Mackenzie Stags are going to run the ball, so they play run and pass. They do a good job. They play run first and then play the pass. Big Damon Primus is that nose tackle.
That's Smith breaking over the right sideline, turning the ball up.
Once again,
close to a first down.
Once again, you got good pursuit from the King defensive unit. I see about 8 or 9 gold jerseys over there as they go back to the huddle. Here's the replay on that.
Well, we're going to the opposite side of the field, but you see Smith with the ball running around.
Out. Look at the pursuit from the King Crusaders. There's 5 Crusaders, 5 gold jerseys, 3 on the tackle.
And notice there are 3 running upfield from the point of the tackle, following in those pursuit lanes. Meet him at the goal line. Meet him just before the goal line. Just don't let him score. Very well disciplined defense by the King Crusaders. Mackenzie down, looking at 3rd down and 2. It's a power down. And they go to their power back, Mr. Jerome Bettis, right up the middle, breaking the tackle, breaking loose. Touchdown saving tackle there by number 21 for the King Crusaders. Timmy Banks reached out and just clipped him at the ankle. Bettis breaking tackles at the point of attack and then breaking loose out just short of the 50-yard line.
Jerome Bettis, excellent run. Here it is again. Just a straight handoff, power up the middle to Jerome Bettis. Good blocking from the Stags in that sequence. Then it's from there, it's all Bettis. There's 2 missed tackles. And you can't arm tackle this guy.
See Banks there
just got him. Claxton in motion. Hardy signaling way over. Illegal motion on the play, but the Crusaders continue on.
There was a miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver, Vance Claxton. Claxton was shortening his motion, and
that calls
Hardy wanted
against
to go
the
across
King
the field.
Crusaders, and they're walking off 5 yards against the Crusaders right now.
It may have worked for Mackenzie's advantage. That little hesitation there maybe drew Martin Luther King off sides.
As a reminder, all you Channel 6 viewers, TV6 Sports Talk comes your way every week. Tune in with Mike Price, Mike Kofer, myself, and Anthony Bracey.
Hello. Hello.
Back to the action on the field. Mackenzie
making something happen here. This is one of the better sustained drives they've had. In the day, their first drive they sustained. Right now they're in King territory as they give the ball off, running over the left side behind James Ross and Anthony Wade.
I think the Stags are a little anxious and waiting for the play to develop. On that particular play, Walter Smith ran in front of his lead blocker, not giving him the opportunity to get out in front. It ran right by him, ran right by one of his pulling tackles.
You can see Coach Dozer now setting up to score with little or no time remaining on the clock.
There's the confident King sideline.
Looks very concerned right now. Hate to see a momentum switch going into halftime.
Just the opposite thing on the Mackenzie side.
Again,
there's Hardy in trouble.
Hardy gets the ball off wisely, throws the ball to where there is no one around. Not intentional grounding there. Very heads-up play by one Mr. Hardy.
Shades of a Randall Cunningham the way he turned around there.
Had to do something quick. There was a host of King Crusader linemen swarming him under, turning him around, hitting back toward his own end zone. He just got rid of the ball.
There's some of the cheerleaders and the band from the King High School Crusaders.
Of course, the stadium here, Lorenzo Wright, is packed on both sides. That's the Martin Luther King sideline there with their band cheering on the defense, having a great time here as they have the lead. But Mackenzie does have the ball, and they're on the move, 3rd down and 5.
There's a pitch.
Look for a pass.
Claxton looks like he's going to pass the ball.
He's got a man open. Oh! Incomplete. There'll be a pass interference.
Flag on the play. Number 22 for the King Crusaders, Ricardo Williams.
Maurice Ferguson on the defense. That was
right. Ricardo Williams just reached over. He might have got his right hand on the back.
You can see that play. It was obvious that he wasn't going to run the ball, but when he started to reverse his field, it sort of threw a glitch in the play. That time, Williams might have had a better shot at the interception. You can see him going for the, if he'd have went for the ball, he might have had a chance to pick this off, but he had one hand on his back, reaching over with
might have had
the
the right hand on, just barely touching him. See, there's the right hand right there, reaching around with the left. Not so much of a call that I would have called. I would have kept my flag in the pocket, but I'm not the referee in this situation. And there, that turns out to be a positive move for the Mackenzie Stags.
Now, that's 2 penalties here on this particular drive that have kept the drive alive on 3rd down for the Mackenzie Stags. Stags now on the move. Now, Rashard Hardy with the single back in the backfield. That's Jerome Bettis.
And there's a blitz from the Crusaders. Oh, screen to Smith. Couldn't develop fast enough.
Now, on that particular play, on screen passes, it's designed to let the line penetrate. But the penetration was so deep and so intense by the King Crusaders defensive line. Hardy had no chance. The whole defensive line just surged upon him.
This is what happened. It looked like it was a blitz from the Crusaders. Not able to pick it up. You just couldn't spot the running back, Smith, in a sea of white jerseys. You couldn't pick out which person to throw it to.
Right, and there was a collision there between David Sanders and Jerome Bettis, and I would have to say, as you can see Bettis there getting up off the ground, that the King Crusaders seem to be very high up on defending this young man. He's, as we have said many a times, one of the premier backs in the state. And when you have the premier defense, they get real keyed up. They probably went to bed last night thinking of one Jerome Bettis and how they're going to stop him. And we're going to be back with the final 3 minutes of the first half as the King Crusaders have the lead, but Mackenzie's got a field. The Detroit Public School Football Championship 1989. Stags now with the ball and on the move in the deep I formation. Back pass and the ball is intercepted by Deion Johnson. Johnson there making his way up the sideline. He needs one block. He gets the block. It's 1-on-1 here with the quarterback. And making the tackle there was Rashawn Hardy after throwing the interception. Reading the play was Deion Johnson, the free safety, playing all the way back deep middle and just picked the ball off.
What happened there with the King Crusaders blitzing on the play. Let's see the highlight. Here's the replay on that. Hardy had no time whatsoever. There's 5 King Crusaders
from the outside.
Throws the ball up for grabs. Johnson finds it and puts together a pretty good return there. It almost turned into a touchdown. One man to beat. There's Hardy, who was creamed by the Crusaders, got up and made the tackle anyway.
Yeah, Corey McClue, the outside linebacker on the right side, was there on the blitz, forced him to throw the ball early, and he had to throw it up for grabs. Crusaders now thwarting that drive with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in the first half.
On that play was a penalty against the King Crusaders. So the ball
just outside the 10-yard line.
Where the interception was caught.
A clip on the interception return, you can see it. 10th shot from the line.
Zoltan Hall squeaks through a little hole there and slammed to the turf by Devon Grant.
Looked to be a little bit of confusion that particular play. Hall was running an option type action, and Edward Davis was running a power type action. So Hall just called his own number, took the ball up, and got some positive yardage out of that. 4-yard gain or 5-yard gain.
The King Crusaders seems to be. They have a vision to be the state champions of Class A this year.
All Pistons firing in sequences. Davenport again tries the middle. Tackled by 3 Mackenzie defenders. First guy on the scene was Bryce Williams. He's a junior. Safety.
Third and 4, as you heard our public address announcers say. 3rd and 4 for the King Crusaders. It's 14-0 in favor of the King Crusaders right now. You're watching the Detroit Public School League City Championship game. Mackenzie and King. There's Davis with a nice run to the outside. Tackled by Sylvester Wright, number 63.
That time, Davis there just exploded over the left side of the center through the one hole. Picked up the first down there. It's only 50 seconds remaining to go in this first half. You'll see Davis right here now come through the line. Look at the hole he has to run through right there, right over the left side, breaking into the backfield, defensive backfield. Get a good one-on-one tackle.
To the action.
Davenport almost the ball, picked up by number 63. He's running for a touchdown, but he was tackled at the 5-yard line. Big play.
Big turnover for the King
Big turnover.
Crusaders.
That's Sylvester Wright. Sylvester Wright there on that
seconds left on the clock.
Play, making a big play with 31 seconds left to go in the first half.
Mackenzie could possibly go in decent position.
Okay, the King Crusaders taking the timeout right now to try to set up some type of defense. Coach Robert Dozier must be feeling pretty lucky right about now. We'll be right back after this brief timeout. Change of events here with 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Mackenzie gets a fumble and have the ball first down and goal. They can score before the end of the half.
Great opportunity for the Stags. They go right to the big fella, Jerome Bettis, and he's stopped right about the 7-yard line.
Immediately calling a timeout is Mackenzie, Coach Dozier.
Mackenzie got in this position last week by defeating Finney High School. If you recall, in that game, Finney stopped Mackenzie 3 times right on the goal line. Now they're faced with the same situation again against the #1 defense in the state of Michigan.
This is what it comes down to. When we were talking in our pregame, this is what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen. One of the premier offenses versus the premier defense, and it's happening right here, right now, on the goal line, in almost what is considered a must-score situation for the Mackenzie Stags. They have the ball now, 2nd down and goal to go, trailing by 7 points and desperately needing to score against the #1 defense in the state.
2 of the best coaches in the state. Coach James Reynolds, defensive specialist. Coach Robert Dozier. They know the game inside and out. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they can put the pieces together.
A lot of people are standing there on the
go in the halftime
sideline.
14-7, down 14-7.
Okay, now they fake the ball off the best. They're going to throw. They got a man, but it is on this. Intercepted! Intercepted by Martin Luther King High School. Calling up with that ball was number 6.
Number 64 on the interception.
Yes, that's Corey McClue making another big play. McCullough there forced 1 interception earlier when Mackenzie was in scoring position by pressuring the quarterback.
Here's
and
the
we can see
replay
here
on
on the
that.
replay getting an interception this time.
Hardy kind of does a little rollout, a half rollout, looking for Smith, but just underthrew the pass. And into the hands of Corey McCullough.
Rising to the occasion for the 2nd consecutive time is Corey McCullough. Now Martin Luther King, now all he has to do is run out the ball. And there goes Zoltan Hall with the quarterback sneak, busting up for about 15 yards.
12 seconds now on the clock. Zoltan Hall called his own number on that play, took it straight up the gut of the Mackenzie Stags. I don't think they were looking for that. Got some good yardage out of it.
A true test of the defensive will of Martin Luther King High School. We've got just
clock
under...
continues to tick, and that will do it for the first half with the score.
right now, 14-0. The Stags have established themselves in the second half with the momentum.
Well, we thought they had a little bit of momentum going into the final seconds of the first half. What happened, if you can remember along with me, they were stopped on a goal line, 2 goal line plays right before the half.
With turnovers, a fumble and
turnovers, an interception on the goal line cost the Mackenzie Stags an opportunity to go in with a little momentum into halftime, but that was not the case, and Mackenzie lost a little bit of their momentum. What they have to do this second half is get their offense in sync. Jerome, Bettis, Walter Smith, utilize their backs in a good way. The passing game, they might have to open up the pass that might open up the run. It's usually the opposite way around. The run opens up the pass. They haven't been able to establish a running game, so they might have to turn their tricks a little bit and say, well, let's pass a little bit. Coach Dozier, on that goal line play, came out with a pass.
Yes, he did.
Could have been a successful play. The backs got tangled up in the end zone, and results was an interception. Nevertheless, still a good game. A lot more football left in this second half. 14-0 in favor of the King Crusaders. And here's the second half kickoff.
Good kick going out the back of the end zone. Outstanding kick.
That's Sylvester Wright's foot. 2 strong legs in this contest with Lenhart for King. Sylvester Wright for Mackenzie, who we haven't seen kick a field goal yet, but he kicked that one right through the end zone, and that's the importance of a great or decent or good specialty team.
Right. Good at the very least and great at the very best. And Martin Luther King Crusaders have shown that they do have a great special teams. We saw one punt return earlier in the first half that was outstanding with the blocking scheme and everything else. Martin Luther King Crusaders now have the ball and a 14-point lead as they start the second half. Zoltan Hall is the quarterback with the deep eye back, giving the ball off right there to the deep eye back. That's number 25, David Edwards. Edward Davis. Yes, Edward Davis there on the carry.
Edward Davis on the carry, and again, the line play right from the beginning. Number 74, Herbert Gibson, who pulled out right in front of Edward Davis. Here's a replay on it. As you see the good line motion, the good pulling. King has two blockers in front of the running back. Finds some daylight, teamed up on Devon Grant there, defensive end from Mackenzie, and a good 5-yard pop for the King Crusaders.
Yeah, Grant there was double teamed and still came off to make the tackle. That was an outstanding play by number 88, the outside linebacker right there. Now they give the ball off to Davenport, big hole up the middle. Davenport running for a first down.
One thing that King has been good in doing in this game, and here's a replay on it. They don't run around. They run straight at. They run straight at the middle linebacker, who's Jerome Bettis. They're going to make him work and make him make the big play. To this point, he hasn't been making a big play. What he might have to do is offensively, he has defensively, questionable. What he has to do probably is just step up a little bit, get a little bit inside.
They go inside right at Bettis again, but this time the back doesn't make it, as he was tackled. They're corralled by big number 71, Anthony Hobbs, first man on the tackle. And again, Jason Phillips, the name we've called many a time, number 54, getting up off the pile.
Mackenzie might have, defensively, they might have to just move Bettis up a little bit. He's about 5 yards back in the linebacker position, but they might want to move him a little closer to the line of scrimmage where he can battle those big guys. Don't let him get too close up on him.
Yeah, the crux to that is, though, they had him up playing inside a little bit earlier, and Davenport was able to slip out of the backfield and get those 15-yard hook patterns in the middle. I guess it's a matter of situation.
Of the Mackenzie Stags, most of your tackles are going to be made by your linebackers, and as you see there, as Bettis was up in the line.
Yeah, then walked out.
And he's the single linebacker in this situation. Defense has changed a little bit.
So now a quick pass. Looking for number 12, who's wide open across the field. That's Deion Johnson. Running, fumbles the ball. The ball is loose on the ground. They're going to mark him down at the 35-yard line.
Someone forgot their coverage.
Deion Hall there. You mentioned they changed the defense. Martin Luther King High School picked that up. They recognized the one-on-one on the outside with Deion Johnson. They ran him on the quick slant pattern.
Here's a replay on that. Zoltan Hall,
defensive back, supposed to be lined up on the inside.
and just throws. Spot pass to Johnson. Wide open. That area was wide open because it was vacated by Sylvester Wright early. He was picking up the back outside, but what happened, Johnson slid up underneath the linebackers, and there you have it. Some good positive yardage for the King Crusaders.
King now in their power I formation with Davenport, the fullback. And there goes Edward Davis, the running back, trying to get room outside. Not very much room to work with out there. He probably got about 1 yard on that play, picking up 2nd down and 9.
Mackenzie has to prevent the King Crusaders from making a 1st down.
Yes,
they have to do that to establish something here.
This is exactly how the game started off, with King taking the opening kickoff and marching all the way down the field, consuming a lot of the clock and getting a score. Same pattern following suit for the 2nd half. King here has had the ball the entire 2nd half. There's only 8 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. And Davenport breaks over the left side, tries to get outside.
There's the strength of Larry Davenport. 2 Mackenzie Stags on his back. And just flips them right over.
The Stags now need a defensive stand here. It's 3rd down and 6. Perfect opportunity now to establish themselves defensively by stopping him on this play and forcing them to make a decision. Punt.
What happens when you stop them defensively, it carries over to your offensive unit.
Okay, Zolden Hall now back to pass on a reverse option. He's under a lot of pressure. He's got a man opening, gets him right between the numbers, catching the ball. Number 10, Willie Banks. Banks that time ran a deep out pattern. He faked inside like he was going for the post, hooked it outside, and was all alone.
Another 1st down for the King Crusaders. There's Banks trying off the field. Crusaders too much noise from him at all in this game.
Right, they're working over Walter Smith over there on the right corner, defensive right corner. That's the 2nd big play he's given up in this drive right here.
Zolden Hall, the general, calling the plays for the King Crusaders.
Hall back pass again.
Zolden
He's
Hall
got a man wide open in the end zone. He goes short. Number 23 dives up over, and they're going to call it a touchdown. David Bolden there on the catch. What a play by David Bolden. Zolden Hall. That tells the story right there. That tells the story. Zolden Hall there.
On that. Zolden Hall rolls out, turns the opposite way, then rolls to his right. Look downfield, and then finds a wide open Bolden on the side.
Now watch the effort by Bolden, getting into the end zone, diving over the defender.
And right into the end zone.
Into the end zone. And of course, Linhart with the extra point, as he's been the most consistent kicker in the PSL all year, nailing it through all the way back to the track. And there you see, right there, going airborne.
There's Bolden again.
See the ball popping out.
Bolden, we'll call it.
But he's over across the line of scrimmage, and all you need is for the nose of that football to touch that goal line, and it's a touchdown. What a play. What a play.
There's the King's sideline.
Martin Luther King came out that time and really established themselves. Aided by 2 big pass plays on 3rd down and long.
And that's what you have to do. As strong as the King Crusaders are.
A lot of fans here packed in Lorenzo Wright Stadium. Also in that crowd are a lot of state college football scouts.
That's the Mackenzie Stags sidelines and their fans and support. Right now they're down by a score of 21-0. Here's
nice
the kickoff.
high kick.
Claxton, ball was taken by Smith. Up the middle he goes. Trying to make something happen here.
Backing out across the 40. Backing out across the 35-yard line. Smith that time wanted the ball. The ball was coming down to Vance Claxton. He just came and took the ball from Claxton and took off down the field. What a way to return a kickoff there. Just get the ball and go for it. Run north and south as fast as you can. Get as much as you can.
Here's a replay on it. Smith just jumped right in front of Claxton. I'll take it. And up the middle he goes. Good run by Smith. Looking for daylight.
Still very tough to bring down there, running backwards across the 35-yard line.
That's what they need right now, a spark plug to get this offense of the Mackenzie Stags cranking.
Sean Hardy now. Out of the power right, gives the ball off to Vance Claxton, who goes for absolutely no gain.
Swarmed by this sea of gold from the King Crusaders. Vance Claxton. Net 0 for that run.
It's assistant time for Coach Dozier. He's got to find a way to open up the offense. He's going up against the most powerful defense.
Here's the running play. Claxton just nowhere on
nowhere.
Number 54, 57, half of
Phillips.
the King Crusaders defensive
David
unit.
Sanders right there making good penetration from the linebacker and defensive tackle position. Second down and 12, 2-yard loss on the play. Stags now try to run again, and again it goes for no gain. Getting up off the tackle, of course, is big number 77, Tommy Turner right there. Damon
Primus and David Sanders on the stop for the King Crusaders. After an offensive sequence that they just had, the defense rises to the occasion right now for the King Crusaders.
Forcing the Stag offense to work in reverse. Is now 3rd down and 15 yards to go. An obvious passing situation for Rashawn Hardy. The officials are going to take a timeout on the field as we have an equipment problem checking the pads of the inside linebacker. Yes, Phillips sort of rocked his pads loose on that last tackle.
And the clock begins to tick. 5 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock. Mackenzie trying to mount a drive against the King Crusaders. Awesome defense.
Hardy back to pass now. It is sacked from the backside. He was absolutely crunched by Leonard Hayes.
Number 76, Leonard Hayes, found himself a quarterback.
All out blitz coming from the front side.
When you get a unit fired up like this, it's just hard to tone them down.
King is definitely on a roll right now. They can feel it. They can almost taste the city championship. Still, mind you, a lot of time left to go in this particular ball game.
Low line drive
kick. Good bounce there. Good Mackenzie bounce. Going all the way down to the 27-yard line where he dribbles out of bounds. 5:51 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Okay, we're going to see the sack that caused the turnover.
That's Leonard Hayes coming from the outside, and
there he is. And look at the
blinds Rashawn Hardy and puts him on his back. This is the Detroit Public School Playoff game of the week, and also the city championship game, Mackenzie versus King. King is winning right now by a score of 21-0, 5:11 on the clock in the 3rd quarter, and King with the ball.
With the single back offense, give the ball off to the single back Davenport, who works his way up the middle for a 6.5-yard gain, bringing up 2nd down. Davenport has definitely been the workhorse here offensively. He's been the mainstay of that offense right now. Highly underpublicized, underrated back.
He's a very good offensive back. Their whole offensive unit and their backs are pretty good. I would see probably all 3 of them might be on the all-city team. Maybe 1, 2, and 3. With Davenport leading the way. Here's Davenport again.
Not quite able to bounce it out to the outside. See a little frustration on the face of Davenport as he walks back to the huddle there.
Jerome Bettis on the stop, doing some blitzing there, and made the stop on Davenport.
Third down and 4 for the Crusaders.
Something Mackenzie has to do right now defensively is maybe they want to start blitzing and attacking the ball a little bit better.
What they want to do is stop them.
That's one thing they want to do, but
again, the cross action in the back to the ball to Edwards.
Bettis on the stop again. Pretty active, and what they did with Bettis is move him a little outside. No longer are they running.
Against the right side that time is Bettis, who had lined up on the defensive right, and they ran that way. He was in to make the tackle. Coach Reynolds right now looking over his offense.
They're calling for a measurement to see if this one's going to be a first down.
Very important measurement here coming up. Could be fourth down decision time for Coach Reynolds. No decision necessary. First down for the Crusaders.
See that MLK sweatshirt.
Lenhart bringing into play the Zoltan Hall.
Lenhart also serves as a tight end on that offensive unit of the King Crusaders.
What type of
One of
adjustments?
the kickers.
What type of adjustments could Coach Dozier make to thwart this offensive attack from King High School?
Well, you just said the key word, attack. I think they have to attack the ball a little bit better than they've been doing all game, and that's what they're doing right now. They have to send their linebackers a little bit more, play the run. The adjustments that he made during this defensive sequence has been pretty good. Second and 7 right here. It's 2 minutes and 54 seconds on the clock, 21-0 in favor of the King Crusaders. I'm Jeff Lowe along with Anthony Bracey. Public School Championship game, 1989, right here on TV6 Barden Cable.
King now lined up in a power I formation with Davenport the up back. The ball is lying free on the ground. It's picked up by Mackenzie Stags, but there are flags down on the play. I believe the play was called dead before the snap of the ball. We'll wait and see. That's legal procedure against Martin Luther King High School, as called by Art Fist, our referee.
Walked off 5 yards against the King Crusaders.
5-yard penalty against King. Down remains, second down, 13 yards.
Lenhart goes in the game for number 33. Rod Holmes for the King Crusaders. King is trying to play it pretty much to the book right here. Nothing fancy.
Deion Johnson and David Bolden are both split to the same side. And they're going to pass to that very same side under a lot of pressure. Zoltan Hall, and he's sacked at the 25-yard line. Good defensive pressure there by the blitzing linebacker.
And that's the one thing that's different from the first half than the second half. Mackenzie is now attacking the ball. They're now attacking the ball.
Chris Asaskas on the carry of 5'11", 220-pound linebacker. We're going to go to a break right now. Standing by here is Jeff Lowe and Anthony Bracey at the city championship game. King Crusader.
Welcome back. It's the third quarter. 1:41 in the third quarter. 21-0 in favor of the King Crusaders. And Mackenzie, they're facing a third down play here. Boom, outside to Davis, and he's swarmed by Jerome Bettis.
Play went for no gain. Bettis has played an outstanding defensive game. You called his name a lot on the defensive end. But offensively is where they really need his strength. That's his strength, and they really need him to come through on offense. Here, a good play, a good defensive series for Mackenzie as they stop King and force him to punt deep in their own territory.
This is only the first time that Mackenzie Stags has stopped the offense of King this game.
It's a good punt, nice and high. Ball's taken by number 1, Clayton, who gets Claxton, who gets absolutely nothing. He loses 2 yards on the return.
David Sanders on the kick coverage right there, covered the kick real well. Clipping against the Mackenzie Stags, indicated by referee. We got Art Fist, that's his name.
Of course, the referees here are the best in the PSL. They were voted in through secret balloting. Of course, in the championship games, you want all the very best, the best officials, and we have the best crew here giving us these shots. Our director, Leon Reynolds, here, calling an excellent game, and so is Coach James Reynolds on the sideline. for Martin Luther King High School as his Crusaders have the lead right now.
And Mackenzie facing a long ride back. It's the fourth quarter. Go to the outside play. Hardy outside. Corralled by two of the King defensive backs. That's Banks and one of them. And Ricardo Williams the other.
Number 21 and 22. You see him right there on your screen.
Offensively, what the Mackenzie Stags have to do here is utilize all their talent. Hey, we know you have Jerome Bettis in the backfield, one of the best backs, but you also have a talented quarterback and Walter Smith, the other running back.
Going to be pressured to get this playoff. Only 5 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It doesn't look like they will get the playoff. The clock's going to run out. Referees stop the play as they do right here. And in between quarters, we'll take a break and come back with the final quarter of the PSL Championship game between Martin Luther King Crusaders and the Mackenzie Stags. Anthony Bracey here along with Jeff Lowe.
That's the end of the third.
Game between the Stags and the Crusaders. The Stags now have the ball and they have to make something happen. Reverse option there, calling his own number as the quarterback, Rashawn Hardy, who gets out close to a first down. Maybe, yes,
Bounces
I
out
do believe he did get the first down.
Bounces off to a first down.
Yes.
He's trying to avoid the defenders.
Calling his own number for the second consecutive time. They run in the reverse option here. Looks like they may try to set up a pass or something. I've seen them run that before. A couple of reverse options. Then they have him do the reverse option and fall back
Well,
and throw the ball.
what that does is spread out the defense a little bit. Makes them think a little bit more and opens up the middle. Might see him come back with a straight dive play up the middle. I don't know.
Big Damon making a defensive switch coming up on the line of scrimmage. Now the reverse option to the other side. Calling his own number again and pitching the ball just before it gets to the ground. Well, they're going to call him down. Rashawn Hardy, his knee was on the ground when he pitched the ball. Waited just a little bit too late on that play. Which you're absolutely right, though, Jeff. By running this reverse option, they're getting the defensive backs to think run, to think option run here, possibly setting up the option pass. Of course, Bolden and Davis, Bolden and Williams, Ricardo Williams, the two defensive corners for Martin Luther King, are very experienced cornerbacks.
Could be the first time in history of the High School Association or the Detroit Public School League that an entire defensive squad is named All City.
Yes. Rashawn Hardy handed the ball off to Bettis. He's got a lot of open field and converged on very, very quickly. Coming up and sticking his hat was Ricardo Williams, and also dragging him down behind was Corey McClue. Make that number 62, Philip Sherman.
Philip Sherman?
Philip Sherman,
They changed numbers on us out there.
Yeah, he combined with Ricardo Williams on that tackle.
Face mask against the King Crusaders. It's going to mark off a big chunk of yardage. Puts them across the 50-yard line for the first time in this contest. Stags are trying to mount a drive, faced with a 21-0 deficit right now.
Yeah. Across the 50 for the first time on their own volition here, because they did have 2 first and goal opportunities in the first half, but the King Crusaders defense rose to the occasion, getting 2 consecutive turnovers.
King Crusaders showing blitz there. Lined up on the other side of the encroachment zone. Marked off another 5 yards.
King defense being their own worst enemy right now. It's 20 yards on 2 back-to-back penalties they've given up right here.
They're looking for a goose egg in the Detroit Public League championship game here. Mackenzie,
to go with the other 7 they registered this year.
That's right. And they were their own worst enemy the last time in the semifinals when they beat Northern.
And now it's Hall with the reverse pass. There's a screen set up right there to the tight end, which goes for a loss on the play of about 3 yards. Catching that screen pass was Gregory Leonard. Again, Rashawn Hardy under a lot of pressure from the backside by Corey McClue. He's been putting a lot of pressure on the backside. Corey got one interception.
Played
one interception.
A very good game. Also on the kick team, on the kick coverage, he's been doing an excellent job. Mackenzie has to crank up that offense right here. You might want to open it up with a pass. It's 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Ball given to Smith. Walter Smith smothered by big Damon Primus. Smith gets up like a young Walter Payton now. Bounced off the turf.
Well, look at Primus there. See, notice the size of big number 77 right there. Primus, one of the premier linemen in the PSL, definite major college prospect. We'll have a lot of options when this year is over.
He sure will.
3rd down and 5 now. Must convert situation for the Stags. They're trailing.
At nose guard, he
touchdowns.
should have a lot of options. He's a big kid. I think this is the first time I've seen him play nose guard this season. Usually he's at the tackle position.
Shots pass. He's got it, man, open across the middle. Converts on. And there's going to be a flag down on the play. Going to call defensive pass interference.
Deion Johnson was called for it, and it's another flag in the Mackenzie backfield. Referees are conversing. Let's see what the call is.
A lot of pressure Rashawn Hardy was under when he threw that particular ball right there. He was looking for Maurice Ferguson.
Here's the call.
And look at the defensive backfield. We'll see. Yeah, the King defenders converging on the ball right there.
Just a little quick.
Excellent shot there by a cameraman.
I guess the flag in the Mackenzie backfield didn't mean too much.
No, it didn't. It's going to mark
Didn't indicate what that play was. Pass interference against the defense. Big chunk of yardage marked off. Ball is sitting right at the 28-yard line of the King Crusaders. Mackenzie facing a 21-0 deficit here in the fourth quarter. 7:51. Jerome Bettis, Walter Smith in the backfield. Here's the give to Smith. Met head on by 2 King defenders.
And I bet Mr. Primus is at the bottom of that pile somewhere. See them on pile coming
just like a brick wall that was.
Yeah, Walter Smith a little woggy when he getting up off of that play right there. Clock is slowly winding down, working against the Stags.
We're at Lorenzo Wright Field, just east of the downtown Detroit area, adjacent to Harbortown Complex.
Referee's going to call a timeout to check out the score. Well, there's a helicopter flying over the field. They're going to wind the clock up right now. Walter Smith is in obvious pain as he's lining up in the deep I formation. There's a pass by, and it's caught, but they say it's no good. Incomplete pass attempt there by Maurice Ferguson. Referee says he was bobbling the ball. Good throw there by Hardy, led him right in the seam of the defense. They're in a zone defense at time.
Incomplete pass, but from up here, it looked like it was a good catch.
Indeed it did. That's consistent.
Outstanding effort by Ferguson, though.
Yes, it was.
To go for that one.
The Stag offense there. As we'll see the play, coming right across the middle right there is Walter Smith making a good dive.
Ah, there you see where it was dropped.
Yes, the ball popped right through there. King lining up now in the single back formation, similar to the stretch offense of the Detroit Lions. Deep drop, obvious screen with absolutely nowhere to go.
King like Hardy was running for his life right there, trying to get out the way of the King defenders.
Very slow to get up right there in the middle of your screen is Walter Smith.
A sprint back pass. He sprinted back.
Rashad Hardy, the quarterback right there, having a very rough time here. Under constant pressure, Corey McClure has been on him all night.
And the entire King defense has been on him all night with stunts and blitzes that the Mackenzie offensive line has not been able to pick up. And big Damon Primus anchoring the middle of that defensive line.
Back to pass again. He's got a man on the sideline, but it's incomplete. Looking for Vance Claxton on the play. Defended by Ricardo Williams right there. The King defensive backs have been playing outstanding games. Have Ricardo Williams and David Barden right there, both number 22 and number 23. Barden, of course, stay on the field for the offensive end.
Most of the afternoon. King sidelines, the high fives are coming in. They're just about getting ready to wrap this one up. 6 minutes, 48 seconds on the clock, 21 to goose egg, 0 in favor of the King Crusaders. Ball handed off to Davis, tries to get outside, finds a little daylight. Jerome, Bettis, and Sylvester Wright on the stop. Good yardage from Davis, though, nevertheless.
Again, running that cross-action backfield, you see Davis right there, running right off the block and cutting the ball upfield for positive gain as he's converged on for the tackle. A gain of 8 yards nonetheless. 2nd down and 2 yards to go. Ideal situation for Coach Reynolds. Keeping the ball on the ground, goes to Davenport.
Larry Davenport, straight up the middle.
Finding his way out for the 1st down.
Ball possession time for the King Crusaders right now.
Very, very important. That's the time remaining right there, ladies and gentlemen, in the PSL season. This is the championship game of the city.
Final game.
East versus West.
Final game, East versus West. Final games for these two teams in the city, but now they go on to the state to try to accomplish some higher feats there.
There's Davenport breaking tackles and carrying tacklers for a gain of about 5 yards. Again, the strategy is obvious right now. Coach Reynolds is going to just try to run down the clock, keeping the ball in the arms of Davenport, who's a sure-handed ball carrier.
As Coach Dozier, no need to hold your head down. You got another season to start here, Coach Dozier.
And a lot of young players to build on.
To the state championships. Pretty sure both these teams will represent the Detroit Public Schools.
King down their power eye, jumping off sides there as the left guard. Philip Sherman, a little anxious there. Stopping the clock with 5 minutes left to go.
Crusaders taking their time, getting back up to the line of scrimmage. You got Deion Johnson wide left here, and Bowden to the right. Ball handed straight to Edward Davis. Gets about 4 yards on the carry. Carried one defender for about 3 yards.
Good play there by Davis. The scouts love to see, what most scouts look for in a running back is where he gets hit and where he gets tackled. He gets those positive yards at the point of attack are more in his favor. And there at the point of attack, he bowled it out for about another 4 yards there.
He's a strong little guy.
Walter Smith, the defensive back, who made the tackle on that play.
He has a low projection to the ground, which creates a good leg. If he has good, strong legs, he can get some good yardage out of it.
King again in that deep I formation. They're going to give the ball out to the I back. That's Edward Davis blasting through the middle again. Very, very close to a 1st down.
One of the things that I look at in Davis is his ability to get in the hole fast.
Yes.
He gets the ball and gets up into the hole very quickly. That's another thing that a lot of the college scouts look at. Into the game for the Crusaders right now, number 33 at tight end, that's Rod Holmes. This is the Detroit Public School League Championship game. or 1989, and the Crusaders seem to have this
pretty much in control.
In control at this point. Zoden Hall, there's a reverse.
And busting out is David Barden on the reverse.
David Barden on the reverse.
For another first
comes
down.
out with a little bag of tricks right now. So the fans can get their money's worth.
Well, the fans have got, look at
Just
this,
a
you
little
can see
reverse
Barden
here.
coming around.
A lot of good line play.
Inside the block, and then just turning the ball upfield, getting positive yardage. There he is, just crossing the first down marker. Very well constructed offense by Coach Reynolds and his two assistants, Frank Brown and Aaron Willing. And busting up the middle again goes Barden, and he goes all the way for the touchdown.
That's
Edward Davis right there, busting through the middle.
Cheers from the King sideline as Barden and the offensive unit for the King Crusaders huddle in the end zone. And that's what I like. He got in the hole real fast. He got up in the hole real fast.
You were just talking about that. That may be the straw that breaks the back of the Mackenzie Stags right here in this particular game.
Now Linhart getting ready for the field goal, tying up the shoe there. Steps off his little yardage and gets set up. Here's a snap, good snap. There's the kick, and it's good. He hasn't missed all afternoon.
It's fine, Linhart. Now here we'll see on the replay, coming up blasting right through the hole, as Jeff Lowe said earlier, getting through the line. You can see Davenport there leading the way right through the hole.
Big lineman. There's Herbert Gibson. Also some good line blocking at the point of attack.
And Edward Davis in the open field right here. That's what I mean by just sliding past the defenders. There's an open field tackle right there that's missed. And here it's just a foot race and no one's going to catch. It's nothing but goal line. Big number 88 is on his tail, but it's just too little, too late. As Edward Davis has got that broken field speed and runs into the end zone. Scores 28-0. Martin Luther King High School showing their overpowering offensive and defensive display here in the championship against a previously undefeated team.
28-0. Here's the kickoff. Vance Claxton trying to pick it up, avoids one, trying to find sideline, and corralled out of bounds by the very excited King Crusader punt coverage team. Mackenzie trying to, you can feel, find the spirit here, but they have no reason to hold their heads down, because there's another season about to begin, and that's the state championship.
On the King sideline here, you can just feel the intensity rise as the fans can sense a touchdown, or more than a touchdown, they can sense the championship being ready to be delivered to the Martin Luther King Crusaders.
That's Coach Reynolds on the sideline, very
3 minutes and 3 seconds away from the city championship.
Shouting out directions, still keeping his team highly motivated. It's not over till it's over, gang. Let's keep the pressure on.
But right now, the defense for Martin Luther King Crusaders is very fired up. They come out, the defensive stance right now is a wide zone defense, protected against the pass. Because Mackenzie trying to go deep there. That pass defense, and the ball is intercepted. That's Ricardo Williams running down the left sideline. Williams, they're going to call that as a forward lateral. He did lateral the ball off, but it was a forward lateral. They're going to call him to play back at the 15-yard line. Flipping the ball forward to Deion Johnson. But as I was remarking about the defense, just before the play, they were in a pass defense, and they passed it over, and Ricardo Johnson.
The interception stands.
Ricardo Williams.
But the lateral doesn't. He tried to pitch it forward to one of his teammates. But nevertheless, a heads-up play anyway.
Excellent defensive selection. We'll see the pass come here, but they're in a pass prevent defense. As you see Ricardo Williams there going up high for the ball, catching the ball at the highest point. And from here, it's just a matter of just running the ball down. You see number 12 right there making the block on 23. He's going to lateral the ball. He's still up, but see, he's forward right there. He's forward.
He pitched it forward to Deion Johnson, who tries to get a little end zone, a little touchdown, a little glory there.
There's a timeout on the field with 2 minutes and 46 seconds left to go. Martin Luther King is in control of this ball game. We'll be right back with the final PSL football game to determine the city championships on the Sports Beat. He gets put Dwight Brown at quarterback, number 17, and they're keeping the ball on the ground. The ball given out to number 20, who breaks a tackle with
Gregory Scott, number 20. It's time to bring in the reserves and a much needed rest for the starting unit of the King Crusaders. This game is out of reach right now with 2 minutes and 26 seconds on the clock. Most of the second unit from the King Crusaders are on the field, and they still have a host of big guys at line.
Saka Hightower is the fullback, and Gregory Scott is the tailback. That's Hightower right there, breaking the ball over the left sideline. There's a flag down on the play.
This is the championship game of the Detroit Public School League Simpson.
Getting a chance to play.
That's Simpson. System. Detroit Public School Leagues.
That's right.
This game is out of reach right now for the Mackenzie Stags.
When you look at the accomplishments of these two teams, though, to go through all the things they've went through this year, of possibly not being able to play at the beginning of the PSL school year, to not having enough equipment and pads, everyone pulled together. The Silly rallied around them. Barden Cable Vision, we tried to do our part as best we could. And now it's coming down to the last 2 minutes of the PSL season in the championship game, and these kids are really showing their talents to the city of Detroit, to the whole entire state. The two best teams probably in the state. Hopefully both these teams will be representing the city of Detroit in the state championship
I'm pretty
series.
sure that Mackenzie and the King Crusaders, probably along with Northern, will represent the Detroit public school system and the state championships, their quest for the state championships. Right now, Mackenzie Stags,
a tribute to Martin Luther King High School. They'll be 8-0 with 7 shutouts. Gregory Scott again, bringing it along the left sideline, weaving his way, staying in bounds down to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. Gregory Scott, a young man getting a chance to play as an underclassman in a city championship game.
That's a good positive note, because that shows that Coach Reynolds can go to a guy like Gregory Scott. Here he is on the run. Nothing inside, darts outside, runs over Vance Claxton.
Watch the way he stays in bounds right here. He can go out of bounds. No, he cuts it back inside and gets another 3 yards out of it. Again,
opportunity for the young guys to see what, to show Coach Reynolds that, hey, I can play this game just like your starters.
Yeah, right.
And if anyone gets hurt at this point, you can always put those guys in and you won't lose a beat. Right. That's the importance of playing them right now. And it's a championship football game. Everybody wants to get in to the championship. It's like the Super Bowl of the Detroit Public Detroit Public League.
Yes, and it has been super as the clock is winding down. Just 45 seconds left to go on this particular ball game, and the Martin Luther King Crusaders will be the city champions for 1989. As keeping the ball is Dwight Brown, trying to get to the outside, staying in bounds, which is a very wise move, keeps the clock running with just under 30 seconds left to go in the game. You can see the 2 championship trophies. Well, one's a championship trophy, the other one's a consolation trophy. Right at the end of the Martin Luther King High School bench, we'll have the presentation of the trophies to the coaches.
It's the King Crusaders. Excellent season, 8-0 record. Only team in the state of Michigan that has not allowed a touchdown during the regular season.
12 points all year long. Now the quarterback will just follow the ball as the final tick of the clock, and you'll see the Martin Luther King High School Crusaders, city champions for the city of Detroit, 1989.
Both sporting goods.
Yeah.
That's Sally. Nice low post turnaround. Missed the shot. Rebound Payne. So Kenny Payne in the early going, showing he deserved to be a #1 pick.
I see Aguirre's extended the defense now. He's gone out to play him.
Nymphius throws up a brick, and Payne follows it in.